It's Latakorea, Latakorea, so La, Ta, and then Korea. My name is Akira, and I am the chef and managing partner of Latakorea Food Truck. It's been a rough winter. We got a little bit behind. So our launch date ended up being in the winter time, and with the weather being as cold as it was this winter, we have yet to put in a full week. We're always having to take them in. Things in here freeze, though, and the entire trailer is made out of stainless steel. So as soon as it gets cold, it's a hot spot. I've always believed in the American dream. I always thought I dreamed of having my piece of the pie, having my own business. So I started doing different things. I owned a club, the Music Vault. Did that for 5 years. My son, I'm a single dad. He was turning 5 years old and starting school, and I needed to find something because the club wasn't going to cut it. It was going downhill anyways. The business was getting a little rough, and I had to figure something out. It was time for a change. It's been 5 years, and there was no way I could pull those hours at the club and be up at 7 in the morning and take my kid to school. So I actually started doing a delivery service. Just do traditional dishes. I did bulgogi and kalbi plates, and I started off Tuesdays and Thursdays doing 20 plates a day, and I would deliver them. And it caught on. I would sell out, so then I went from 2 days to 3 days to 4 days to the next thing you know I was doing it 5 days a week. And the only bad thing about it was totally illegal because it was out of my house. You know what I mean? No, I didn't have anything. I just did it because I needed money and I needed to support my kid. And one of my good friends was like, you know, what are you gonna do with this? You know, you're gonna get a restaurant? You're gonna tell him. I said, I'd like to get a food trailer, a food truck. Say about 3 days later, he showed up in my driveway with a food trailer. And he pretty much was like, I bought it, you know. He was like, let's go into business together. He was like, I'll take care of everything. You just cook and manage and run the trailer, and we'll both make money. And that's pretty much what happened. I mean, he kind of just shoved me into it because he probably knew I was going to drag my feet. So I'm kind of funny about putting money into things, you know, I'm real cautious. So he knew I was going to drag my feet, so he just went ahead and took the first step, got the trailer, and I was pretty much, from then on, I just figured it out from there.
Can I help you?
You know, I mean, I'm a single parent. I've got a good support unit. You know, my mom and dad back me up. My son has a nanny. My roommate, she helps out a lot. But the good thing is compared to the club, you know, I work all day while he's in school, and then when he's out, you know, I'm done. Except on weekends, you know, and he goes with his grandparents then. But it's tough, you know, and it's tough being a business owner, and it's tough no matter what, just raising a kid on your own, you know. You don't have two people to split that workload. You don't have two people to split the bills. You don't have two people to split the clothes and the toys and everything else. So, I mean, it's definitely difficult, but it's rewarding, and I think I'm setting a very good example for my son and showing him that, you know, you can make something out of nothing in America. You know, it's an American dream. You could take. I had, you know, absolutely nothing. I had no schooling. I had no formal training, and you know, I took a dream, and I just made it happen. And it's all the result of hard work, and that's all it takes. And as long as I'm setting a good example for him, then I'm totally content.
Yeah.
I got a feeling it's up with me.
I guess I've been labeled by my friends and my peers as an entrepreneur, which I mean I've done. I've had the club. I had a party planning and promotion, an event company. I've done promotions. I had a clothing line, you know, so I had the catering business. So, I mean, I've had a lot of businesses, and they've all been up and down. I never had any formal business training either. You know, I always say I'm from the School of Hard Knocks. You know, I took street knowledge and things that I learned growing up, and just common sense, and applied it to everyday life. And you know, in none of my other businesses were as successful as this is doing now. but they were all stepping stones. I learned and I moved forward, and out of all that, I got this. You know, I built a pretty big network, and that network helped out a lot when I opened up. You know, La Taqueria. We opened up, and we opened to a lot of people who are willing to try us out and help us spread the word, and we've been successful because of that. So it feels good to be a business owner. I mean, I encourage anybody. If you've got a talent, if you've got something you can sell, if you've got services you can provide, try it. It's America. That's what we're here for. It doesn't take much. Some of the difficulties, and I mean, I'm from and I operate in Killeen, Texas. We have a pretty large population, but we don't have many food trucks. There was a new industry out here. I had seen it in Austin. I had followed it in Austin. I went out every weekend for months and did research and talked to people and found things out and things that I would have problems with. And I did all this, and then I came back to Killeen and I hit up the city, kind of the city hall, and was like, hey, what do I need? And they gave me a checklist, and I pretty much ran through it. So I mean, it wasn't difficult per se, but for somebody like me who's never been in the food industry, I've never been in the food industry. I have no formal training. I've never worked a line, never worked as a chef in the kitchen, never done any of that. So for me, and and it being a new small business, it was somewhat difficult. So now that I know the ropes, I could probably knock it all out in 2 months easy. But not knowing the ropes, it took me 6 months, and just asking questions and figuring things out on my own, and just a lot of research. One of the first things I did was bought a Food Truck for Dummies book. I mean, that was one of the first things I did, is just get a basic layout of what I was going to be doing. But now it's a lot simpler, and I'm glad I went this route instead of a restaurant, and I'm glad I went with a trailer instead of a truck. So and that was just a matter of doing a lot of good research, and just kind of knowing what I was doing going into it. And I watched a lot of Food Network, so. The main thing I would do is launch in the spring. If you launch in the spring, it gives you the spring and it gives you the summer to figure everything out, to make your money, to build up some money in the bank to get you through the winter time. Because like I said, once it hits 30 degrees outside, everything in here is frozen. The water's frozen, the gas starts running real slow. We would spray cleaner on the counters and it would immediately freeze. That's how cold it would be in here. So, and days like that, you really can't go out. Plus, days like that, you're not going to have as many people. When it's cold outside like that, you're not going to get people at your window. Business is going to be slow. You're going to get those diehard people that want to come, but I mean, business is going to be extremely slow at times like that. So sometimes it's not even worth going out. 30-degree weather. So it's starting to warm up now. So I'm very optimistic. We're doing very well. So that would be the one thing that I would change. I would definitely launch in the spring instead of the middle of winter time.
It's Korean short ribs.
Right now I'm just cutting my teeth in my own town. Like I said, Killeen Fort Hood has a pretty nice population. So there's enough money here. And the thing about it, everybody's like, oh, go to Austin. But when it comes down to it, I really don't have competition out here. And that plays a big part. If there's 4 or 5 other trailers, 20 other trailers, 30 other trailers, then that's more choices for them. Out here, I can open up, do my thing, and I really don't have to worry about too much competition as far as what I do. It's unique here. What I do and what I sell, you can't get anywhere else in Killeen or Central Texas at this point. In Killeen, there's really no Korean fusion. I've tried Korean fusion in Austin. I've tried it in other cities. The thing that I think makes me stand out is we focus on 3 things here. We focus on quality, consistency, and customer service. I always make sure my employees and myself have the utmost customer service. We're going to meet you with a smile every time you come here. We're going to thank you. We're going to tell you that we appreciate your business, and we're going to do everything we can to get you exactly what you ordered and make sure that it's good. And every single time you come, that's where the consistency falls into place. Every time you come, that food's going to be just as good. It's not going to be better. It's not going to be worse. It's going to be just as good every single time. And I think that's what sets us apart. I mean, it's unique. Everything on our menu is unique. It's not really something you can find anywhere else. I've taken a lot of time to perfect these recipes, and I've taken a lot of time to put together the food that we present, and I think all of it is very balanced. And the one thing that I didn't like about other fusion is I think a lot of times they went too far, and a lot of the flavors were muddled, and a lot of it was too much garnish and too much sauce and too much heat. What I did was I kept it very simple. Our best seller is our K-Town Philly. It's a half pound of bulgogi, and we're presented as a Philly steak, but we don't muddle it. We let the flavor of the meat come through, so you know that you're eating bulgogi, which is a Korean meal. You know what I mean? But that's the main thing. That's the main thing. We keep it simple. We keep everything good. We keep the quality. We use high quality products, and we're always going to meet you with a smile, and you're always going to get what you want.
It's okay, she'll come back.
They always do, right, Akira? They always
Always do.
I really don't have any like culinary influences per se. Like I'm not like, oh, I want to be like that chef. But my influences have always been my family. My grandparents were very, very hardworking. They worked in the plants in Detroit, and they worked, far beyond the normal 20, 25 years before they was hired. My dad, he's been a hard worker ever since, he joined the Army. He's worked every day since then. My mom's a hard worker. Everybody, that's my influence. I for a long time in life, I just kind of floated by. You know what I mean? I floated by. I just got by. I did the bare minimum, and it took getting a little bit older to realize that you're not going to accomplish anything without hard work. And that's what my dad tried to tell me the whole time. And if I would have just listened to him a long time ago, I'd probably be a lot better off. But that's the main thing. You're not going to accomplish anything without hard work. Nothing comes easy. And if you want to be successful, you got to grind. That's all it is. 100% grind. 20-hour days. Oh well, you got to grind. Right now, the thing about it is the beauty of technology right now. We launched pretty much via Facebook. We did all our promotions via Facebook. Everything was Facebook. We have a Facebook, we have a Twitter, and we have an Instagram. You can check us out on all three of those. It's La Taqueria, Latakorea. So La, Ta, and then Korea. And it's all three. It's the same for all three. You can follow us on Instagram. Check out the pictures of our food that we're testing out. People that come up to the window. Facebook, and Twitter, we update daily. You can get our menus, our specials, and our location every day. And it's pretty much the best way to keep up with us. We have special events coming up all the time. But as long as you check that Facebook, and even if you don't have a Facebook, our page is public. So all you have to do is type us into your search engine, and you can view our Facebook page even if you don't have one.
Well, that's a wrap. The Taqueria right here, Killeen, Texas. Actually, we're in Harker Heights right now. Sold out. We actually came pretty hefty today, so it took us a little bit longer to sell out, but gotta love those sellout days. Tired, adrenaline's wearing off, feet are starting to hurt. Now I get to go home and do 2 hours of shopping and 4 hours of prep and get ready for tomorrow. So it's a life, the trailer life.